I know that Jane Hopkins has a lot of Indian blood in her. She had that kind of like kind of brown.
Oh yeah.
She had that very high cheekbones. She's no, actually the Hopkins came from Wales.
Well, but Jane Ann was born in Colquitt.
Yeah, she was.
So let's see, James.
Oh, you'd love to go there, Karen.
Colquitt?
Yeah.
I got a book called The History of Colquitt County,
I
and I haven't read it yet.
I went, and you go through Piney Woods, and all of a sudden you burst into this little square. There's a little courthouse sitting here like this. Over here is the fire department with an antiquated old fire engine. You go over here, there's a built-up sidewalk with a thing to tie your horses to. And then there's a few little houses like that. And when you look over there, there's this teeny little library. And we go in there, and the really old lady, and she said, "Ma'am, I can't tell you nothing about the Hopkins. There's Hopkins out there in that graveyard, but I wouldn't recommend you go out there." So she said,
So you went anyway?
No, I didn't, because she said it was dangerous. I don't know what was going on, but she told me that there is no way to get any information on the Hopkins because the courthouse burned down twice.
Of course.
And the Methodist preacher decided that the record books was old and musty and needed to be thrown away. And the Baptist church was burned down by I called the archives in Atlanta, and I said to her, I need to get some information. I said, I need Miller County, and I said, I'd like to see if I could trace my family. I said, she said, "Ma'am, I hate to tell you this, but there is no way you're going to get any records from there because that whole town burned down." And I said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "I hate to hear that, but I said, I know one thing. In the last days, Georgia ain't going to have to burn. It's already burned." She said, "Ma'am?" Well, the little courthouse burned down.
Didn't burn it. The rest of the people here.
First time the Indians burned it down. And the second time, she said, the records that were saved from the burning down the first time, well, we're building a new courthouse. And they put everything in there. One of the workers up in the attic was smoking a cigarette, and he laid it on the beam and forgot it. And he burned the rest of them down. It's really frustrating.
All right, so what we've got, this Francis Herod, they apparently this says that James Hopkins and Francis Herard, I don't know, married in 1850, but Jane Ann was born in 1847.
Yeah, go back, that's right.
So
and I don't believe that they were...
So Jane Ann got married and then married Francis. So that doesn't necessarily make Francis
actually,
Jane Ann's mother.
They think that oh Lord, I got in a fight with that man at the graveyard down in Key West. The subdivision that Uncle Tukey, Aunt Bish, Aunt Leela, my grandmother, J.B. Whitson, and my Uncle John are buried in, is called, I think it's called, I can't, Karen, I'm really worried about my memory, but it's been years. I think it's been called a certain name subdivision. That man was a Methodist preacher in Key West, and he came from Georgia. When one of the old ladies that I talked to told me, I think that they came down here with their preacher because they didn't want to fight this, in the Civil War. And he said, and they didn't have slaves. So he said, it was her, she told me, she said, I was told that 2 or 3 families got together and built a boat and followed that river down into the Gulf of Mexico, and then came on down to Key West. I looked at one of this census, and it says they had a cabin, they had a wagon, and they had a mule. Well, that's all it said they had.
Worked pretty good.
So
Well,
it really is frustrating because you know you think there'd be more information. When I look at Jane Ann's Bible, I think, why did you write? No, she didn't even write the name. She said, my mother and my father died on the same day. Jane Ann Hopkins had money. I don't know where she got it, but she had money.
And where it went to?
Huh?
And where did it go to?
Now, they weren't rich.
Oh.
But I think what they did, they sold the land.
Oh, okay.
And they evidently had it, land. I don't know where she got the money, but I do know this. She bought that house on Watson Street. In fact, I think she bought it on the corner. She bought those two houses on Catherine Street, and I've got the receipt from Watson, the original person who laid out.
That's the house down on Watson Street when I went in it. You go in the front door, all those walls are gone. And over here in the front is kitchen, and then right over here is the bathroom, by Miss Louise's house. And then the whole back there is a great big huge. He took both the bedrooms out, but he put a spiral staircase, and he put a half floor up there, and that's his bed.
He went up to the garret.
Yeah.
And that's where he's sleeping, in the garret. We wouldn't sleep in that garret for nothing, because those rats were big.
Yeah, they were huge. I used to scare to death that those cats were going to fall down on top. Those rats were going to fall on me.
And when they hit the table in the middle of the night, you'd hear, pow! I mean,
they're like cats. They're huge rats.
I mean, they weren't mice. They were rats.
Do we need to tell her about Daddy and the scorpion? You remember that when old Big Pine came and he's up there helping Bubby and them kill the
I
hogs?
had that one. I don't remember that.
Daddy came up there to help him slaughter the hogs, which we all ran and hid when we did it, because we raised these little pigs, all that stuff. Anyway, he was sleeping in the same room where we were all sleeping. And he got up, and all of a sudden he starts screaming and dancing up and down. And we're all falling on the floor laughing, because he's always cutting up when he saw us. And we thought, Bubby and Aunt Mabel had taken him to Key West. He had a scorpion in his pants, and it was biting him. It bit him like about 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to have to get rid of a lot of my books. I'm going to have to just start clearing out. And I have a book that, I don't know if anybody's interested in it. I have the book that Uncle John used to tell us a story, Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, yeah.
And I've actually got it. I sent for a special.